Hey guys, what is up? This is Enrique for Easy Things to Draw. So basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to try to draw every character from the Super Smash Bros. Games. That's my goal. We'll see how far I get into it. But today we're going to go over how to draw Wario. And Wario's been from like a bunch of different games, really, let's be honest. But he is in Super Smash Bros., so I'm going to draw him. Let me tell you what I'm going to use. I'm going to use colored pencils. This marker right here, this Copic marker, but you can use any marker you really want. Honestly, you can use like a Sharpie if you want. And then I'm going to use this mechanical pencil to kind of lay in my lines. So let's kind of start real quick with just laying in the lines, because that is a big deal. With Wario has kind of an oversized head. His proportions are like that of like an elf, kind of from like The Hobbit or something. So I'm going to do these lines very light. The reason I'm going to do them very light is because I can kind of trace over them without erasing them excessively. And I'm using this really, really, like I said, thin mechanical pencil because it kind of allows me to do that. It allows me to draw really thin and very wispy. And I'm going to draw his head, and I'm going to draw kind of like another circle for his body. I wouldn't normally do that for a body, like this big other egg shape. He's got that kind of gut. And his arms are huge. His arms are like freaking Donkey Kong's, they're like gorilla arms. Throw his arms out here. And what I'm doing is right now is I'm just kind of throwing out proportions and shapes. You know what I mean? Very broadly. It's almost like I don't know where they're going to go. I don't really have a plan for it. There's a ball for his hand. I do have kind of a plan for it, but the thing is I'm throwing these proportions out here so that I can fix them. You know what I mean? I'm throwing something out there so that I can fix it. His legs are tiny. They're very Hobbit-like. He's got very Hobbit proportions. So you can barely see that on camera, and don't worry about it. I'm gonna make it darker. So, like I said, I have this very broad thing right now, and I'm gonna go into his face and try to lay a couple of things out a little bit. He's got a little point to his hat at the top. Very sorry, like if I've drawn too light, it's just because of this pencil. What I could do is I could grab a thicker pencil if you guys want. Well, comment to me in the comments and let me know if you want like a thicker, darker pencil. You know what I mean? For this stage of it, at least. This stage of it shouldn't last too long, I don't think. Going down here, gonna find where his nose is. His nose is like this, almost like those fake noses you buy in the store, like a joke nose. I'm gonna go into his eyes. His eyes are angry, as every bad guy's eyes seem to be angry. He's got the elf ears thing going on. God, he's just like a hobbit. Wow, I didn't realize that. Keep saying that, but man, like the more I draw him, I'm like, yeah, you're very hobbit-like, dude. Or I'm sorry, he's not so much like the Hobbit. He is like a dwarf, right? Sorry. He reminds me of the dwarves. He's got that dwarf proportion. Hair on the side over here. Just everything. I'm finding more small placements here. It doesn't mean I'm finding every placement. I'm just finding more placement. Got that giant, freaky smile. Wario has always been. I wouldn't. It's weird because Wario's never been like my favorite, but I have liked him. I never found him like repulsive or anything. I thought he was kind of cool. This kind of evil version of Mario. His arms over here, suspenders. I'm finding these things that I'm going to trace over later. You know what I mean? In case it's the first time you've seen this channel. I like to lay things in beforehand and then kind of trace over them. Finding out where the suspenders are, you kind of look for different landmarks to judge spaces between. So, I mean, the easy ones would be like the, what do you call that? The buttons on the belt there. Elbow, finding his elbow. I'm going to shorten the side of his arm over here a little bit. He's got these kind of muscular arms, which honestly I didn't really realize. I'm like, yeah, he does have really muscular arms. I knew he had big arms, but I know he had muscles, you know? I guess it should have been obvious. I know him most from Mario Kart as well. Like I know him from here in Mario Kart. I guess he was in, pretty much all the Mario games. They kind of like all hang out together. Things like Mario Tennis, things like that. And then I'm gonna go down here to the feet area, kind of lower stomach. Lower stomach is, and it's kind of weird because they kind of ball up his lower torso, or his torso really. It's kind of his chest. He has a giant gut, and that kind of goes down to his crotch area, and that kind of like all is really one thing. And then his shoes, his funky elf shoes. So now I said Hobbit, Dwarf, and Elf. All those races from Lord of the Rings. Anyways, enough of that. It's a Nintendo, dude. I'm gonna do some Nintendo stuff. Other foot. Same thing. Taking into account his feet are much shorter and smaller. He's got really no lower body at all. He doesn't really lift or anything like that for his lower body. I guess even the bones are really small for his lower body. Arm is over here, finding the elbow again. Hands are a little bigger than I thought. The gloves will cover a little bit more. Got a shirt over here. Alright. And then it's now starting to look kind of like him, you know what I mean? You're starting to kind of see him materialize a little bit. This eraser is the worst. I just used the back of this mechanical pencil. The back of it, we're using the eraser. It is not good. I cannot find my regular eraser, so... oh, I found it. Boom. Found a regular eraser. Here, I found a kneaded eraser. I hope this kneaded eraser not clay, because I've been working with clay lately. So I'm going to start doing Google Hangouts, guys. I think it is also one of those things in the Patreon. There's a private Google Hangout. But there's a lot more that's going to come to this channel. I've just been trying to find time, you know what I mean? I do want, if you're watching right now, I would like some ideas on, what do you guys want on the main website? I'm going to totally revamp the official Easy Things to Draw website. I actually originally just had like the same videos that I have here, but I'm actually going to completely change it because I want the website to be an experience. So I think what I'm going to do is either I'm going to throw some ebooks on there, but like some free ones. Or I'm going to probably throw or I'm going to throw like specific videos. I don't know. I don't really know what I really don't know what to do yet actually, but I'm going to revamp it very, very, very soon. You know what I mean? I just don't want to throw the same videos over there. Okay, I think that's enough. I might be able to go into it with marker. I'm not totally sure yet. I might be able to go into it with marker now. So I think that's what we're going to do. So let's try. This marker might be too thick, actually. Actually, it's not that thick. So let me go to the nose first. The nose is aiming right at us. It's also closer to us on his face. It's closer to us, so I'm going to start with the nose. And then very big, what do you call that? Wing of the nostrils. That's his nose so far. gonna get his eyes here. Eyebrow. Eyebrow's huge. The eyebrow. When I draw it out, I fill it in afterward. Kind of keep track. Gonna close off that side of the eyebrow, the eye. It's a little bit hard to do with this marker because it's kind of thick. If you're using a marker that's a little too thick, it might give you trouble. If you do feel like you should change marker because of that reason, I would definitely suggest that. Mustache. That kinky mustache, kink, or whatever the hell, like lightning bolt looking. I have to really be careful with the mishandling of the mustache. I don't feel like I handled it that well right there. Hopefully the other side will be alright. See there. Be careful with the mustache. The mustache is more of a lightning bolt than it is kind of a. Let me kind of draw it out here. Like when you draw the mustache, it's more like. Hopefully you can see that, right? It's more like this kind of shape, you know. See, they both have a point upward as opposed to, you know what I mean? This like fat caterpillar. Hopefully that makes sense. You know what I mean? When it like ding ding, it goes in the same direction. And then over here, like it's really easy to do this kind of French fry thing where they both kind of bunch up on the same sides. Hopefully that made sense. Let me see. I'm gonna go in now in the teeth. He's got giant kind of cartoony teeth. You know what I mean? They don't even, a lot of depictions of him don't have it drawn all the way up. You know, you don't have to do the lines all the way up. You could if you want, but you don't have to. You can just draw like that, like as if they're gritting together. I'll draw a little bit of the line here. And then let me draw the eye. The eyes are really close together. They're beady. Beady eyes close together. There's the sides of his hair over here. And then his ears. A lot of the most careful parts would be in his face, right? Because you're trying to keep it balanced. Fair and balanced. You try to keep it balanced. So that's gonna be where most of the kind of tiptoeing around would be. And also, like with these characters, their face has the most kind of detail in it. You know, down to his butt chin. And he's got a straight up butt chin. Cleft. Kind of looks like he's wearing a chef's hat, but I'll throw that W in later. I'll throw it in with color. Actually, I'm gonna leave it like as is with. I'm not gonna put it with dark marker. I'll throw this in his ear. So let's see some of his ear. I actually think his left side of his jaw is a little bit too small, but it's marker. You can't really change that. I'm gonna throw a side of his stomach in here. Got some fat sticking out. Over here. Down, trace out his arm. Gonna trace out the other side of his arm. You know, a lot of times I'll ink the way I'm confident. You know what I mean? Like I'll just be like, what can I, have there solid, and that I'll feel more confident going on to the rest of the drawing doing. So that's really the kind of order I kind of go in. I usually, like I said, when I ink something with like a dark marker, I will let me throw this. I will usually go in for the things that are most closest to the camera, like his nose is really close to the camera, and then I'll just kind of go out from there. Usually I'll be trying to look more at the face, but let's say his hand goes in front of his face. I'm gonna actually trace his hand first, with marker, because that's gonna be permanent, and I'd have to go back later and try to retread that. It's gonna be kind of hard to kind of fill that in. Uh, circle over here. I usually trace like little circles in the air first to kind of get my muscle in the mood to do that. Belly, crotch, whatever area. Got like a ball body kind of thing. His feet, shoes. And he really has like no laces or anything like that. He's got serious like Santa Claus elf type shoes. Other side. But they do show still a bend of the knee at least. Same thing on this side. Don't think of it as an afterthought, because I used to have a habit of just kind of being like whatever with the feet, like whatever. No one's gonna look at that, you know what I mean? I'm just kind of doing whatever. Don't do that, That makes for really terrible looking feet. You gotta start thinking of the details. Don't get lazy when it comes to that. Let me go back over here to the glove. That's kind of one thing I noticed that separates kind of a pro artist or someone that's actually leaning toward intermediate to pro from kind of people that are beginning, or actually I'd say like intermediate to pro kind of. I don't know how to say it, but it's just attention to detail is a great thing to have in your arsenal, and you gotta take that. I'm gonna wait a little bit. Actually, I don't really need to wait, right, to erase the stuff on the top. Well, first of all, let me erase this. Or I was talking about this. It's not gonna totally come out. I can tell. I pushed it in pretty hard. But I'm going to erase around his face here with his kneaded eraser, which is like my favorite eraser. Kneaded. Kneaded. Kneaded eraser. It's a squishy one. Love that. Can't talk enough about that. It's a very typical artist pencil. I love it. Alright. So I'm looking at this, and I think it does need an extra layer of... I think I've talked about this before, and you know what I'm going to do. People who've watched this channel. I'm going to throw an extra thick liner on the edge, the contour. I think what it does is just kind of simplifies things down, and it kind of guides your eye better. Because a big part of drawing anything, when you have a drawing and or image or illustration, you're trying to guide the viewer. Like, where do you want the viewer to look? Sometimes your eye may be confused if everything is about the same. Like, so you kind of, that's where like composition comes in. Although we're dealing with, I mean, there is composition for single figures like this, but you know what I mean. For the most part, I want people to kind of like their eye to not float off the page. So I want them to say, "Yo, I'm here." Like, I don't know how to say it. I don't really try to put it, but I really want the picture to say, "Hey, I'm here." And I think it makes a bolder statement to actually throw like a bold line around it, and again, it kind of contains small shapes, where you'll look at the small shapes. Anyways, that would be so far Wario. I'm not gonna put his W until we do that with colored pencil. So let's do that right now. Actually, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna be using this purple. I'm using Rose and actually this is a Scholastic brand colored pencil. I don't know if it's the same thing or not, but let me sharpen it because this thing is really dull. Hold on. Oh man, that is awful. Anywho, oh man, that keeps breaking like crazy. Forget it. I'm gonna use, instead I'm gonna use Violet from Rose Art. And I'm gonna go over here and do the W out. I'm gonna trace it once just to kind of get an idea of where it's gonna be. Kind of light. It's kind of light first. Not sure. Yeah, about there is fine. And then I'm gonna thicken out some of the edges. The W there first, and I'm going to do the W on his hand. Upside down it would be an M, so I keep that in mind. I'm starting to really enjoy the colored pencils part, to be honest. It used to be like my worst part, just doing the colored stuff, but I'm kind of digging it now. It's kind of therapeutic almost. It's still kind of hard on my hand because you have to press down on it, and after a while it will give you carpal tunnel, so be very careful about that. I almost feel like carpal tunnel is not a thing of like now as an artist, because we have digital now, we're not really pushing super hard to get the effect that we want. I'm going to go with his nose real quick before I do anything else. I'm going to do things on front. This thing's called Cerise, but it's closest I can think of to pink. And his nose is pretty much pink. Around here. Got his pink nose. And then actually, there's something I didn't notice until now, but excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. But he has blue kind of eyeliner thing going on. I'm looking for like a sky blue, which I cannot find at all. Can't really find the blue, but I did find a mint, and that's gonna have to do. It's gonna have to be close enough. Guy liner. And then let's go back to the purple. So let's go back to the purple. There's a lot of purple. I actually dressed like Wario one year for Halloween, and if I can find a picture of it, I'll put it up. But that was a fun year. That was a very fun year. This is kind of boring, so I might see. No, instead of speeding up, I'll talk through it. Let's talk, guys. What's up? Um, Lately, I've been doing a lot of art. I actually set up a room in my house in which that me and I bring over a couple of friends. Right now, I've only just started, so I only brought over one friend. We basically have like a sketch day. We spend the whole day there sketching and then kind of going over projects that we need to do. For example, the last time, which was actually the first time I tried it, I ended up kind of sketching there with my friend all pretty much the whole day, and I just kind of worked on this piece I'm going to do. I'm going to do like cereal. I'm doing an art show where you have to create a fake cereal box cover, and so I was working on that pretty much the whole day. You know what I mean? Just trying to take my time on it, really be careful with it. So I pretty much just spent the whole day doing that. I almost finished the black and white part of it, so I feel pretty good. I've also been doing some coffee paintings for my mom. She wants just some paintings to hang around the house, so I've been doing that. And then I also just trying to improve my regular art, you know what I mean? Just my own art journeys. I'm trying to actually sketch in my sketchbook a lot more, and I have been recently. Like, so yeah, I might even have a full-blown sketchbook done by the end of the month, to be honest. We'll see. So, but once I finish it, I'll show it on here, you know, like I did the last time. And then at the same time, I kind of want to still want to do these channels and improve my site, improve the site to this channel. You know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff to do actually, but it's honestly like a lot of fun. You know, it's been like probably one of the funnest times of my life, to be honest. All I'm doing is doing what I want to do. Really, I'm drawing. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I've been up to, pretty much. Getting commissions here and there, stuff like that. It's pretty much been 90% art. Let's see how that looks on camera. Looks okay. Could be darker, honestly. Could be darker. Could be darker purple. I'm gonna do that, but that's where I start. Like I said, my hand starts hurting. But I'll try it a little bit for you guys. Okay, cool. I think I covered mostly the purple stuff. I'm going to switch over here to the green. I'm kind of colored it in kind of a haphazardly way. I don't know if you noticed that. It's been very... I'm almost trying to go from the outside in now, from like the least important to the important. I'm doing that kind of for no reason. I just feel like doing that. Alright. I mean, also, it's also because there's very little green in this, and that's the only time we're really going to use the green. So, I might as well, right? Then, let me go over here to the yellow. And throw the yellow into the shirt, which is, again, an iconic thing for him. They should make another Super Mario Brothers movie. I don't know if you ever saw the old one with Dennis Hopper and John Leguizamo. They should have Bowser in it. I'm just kidding. Bowser. They should have Wario in it. I'm kidding though, by the way, because that movie was awful. But it was kind of awful in like this fun, awful way. Like I could actually watch it now because it was terrible. But like I said, it was fun, terrible. You know, like very like wow, that is so horrifically bad. Like his hat's gonna be yellow, but I'm gonna have to. Kind of work around. There's a kind of a circular pattern over here in the back, which I'll try. I might trace out in black. Okay, so we're gonna go in now with Peach for his skin tone. I'm kind of just gonna cover his skin in general with the peach, and then maybe go into more darker areas. But I'm gonna just cover it in general right now. Going in over here, all the skin. Pulling over here, slightly areas of his muscle hair. I kind of push it darker. And I'm gonna go here with a brown. Actually, call it peanut butter. And I'm gonna go over here with his hair sticking out, which I just haven't really done. And for the most part, it's done. I'm just gonna go over it with a kind of an eye here. I'm gonna try to like finesse a couple of things out. I'm gonna grab this. Where is the black? I'm gonna try to like grab like a black and go over it. Well, I don't know black, but here's a dark blue, and I'm gonna go over here maybe the shadows of certain shadows of his glove. Maybe in his eyeballs a little bit. Not much though. I want to do it in his teeth, but not really. I think that's a big chunk of his character. I guess you could also do it on the ground that he's standing on. Anyways, guys, that's about it. That's a quick Wario. Not that quick, right? It took a while. Kind of Wario demo. But I'm going to try to do everybody from Super Smash Brothers. That's the idea. We'll see if I make it. I hope I do. Subscribe. Please share the video. That'll help a lot. And like a lot. And yeah. Thanks a lot, guys. See you later.